Hello there.
Hello.
Okay, more coming up. Gordon Husk is taking up 2 spots on the screen.
Somebody playing football?
That's true.
Oh, it looks like a football player.
Yeah. I barely can hear somebody.
Is that Victor Megenity?
Hello, Michael Pale.
How you doing, Victor?
Doing okay. How you doing today, partner?
All right.
Good deal. Good deal. Keep it that way. I saw your brother just a moment ago, John.
Right here.
Yeah, hello, John.
How's it going?
It's going okay back here in good old Southern Indiana. How's it going out your way?
Well, we're having beautiful weather for visitors, but it's dry. So we haven't had rain for a long time. Leaves falling off the trees. Grass is turning brown. Fires are starting.
When does winter set in there, John?
Oh, around December, January.
Is there very much of a change in temperature at all in December?
Oh, yeah, we in the wintertime we'll have mornings where I need to put a sweater on when I get up.
Okay.
It's rare in the summertime.
Yeah. Now the last 2 weeks I haven't been able to get on, the last 2 times, but I'm using with my daughter's help using my cell phone. I'm on this time, so we'll see how that goes.
That's really good for a cell phone. Yeah, you look great.
Real clear picture.
And I still see 2 Gordon Husk squares without a picture.
Yeah.
Where's Bob?
There you are. Hello, hello.
Where's the other Bob?
No.
No picture. Has he got any voice? Audio?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but
Yeah, we can hear you, Bob, but we can't see you.
you sure
Well, I don't know what I'd have to do to get up there.
don't have your lens
I'll
covered
have
up?
to look and see if I can get this thing turned on a little better.
We got 2 Gordon Husk, but I don't hear him. No picture.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
we
here.
can hear you.
Oh, here I am.
Hey, now how about that?
There's
I
Bob.
didn't have it turned on all the way, John.
Yeah, there you are, Bob. We see you now.
Well, I can't get used to a lot of these things. There's too many buttons and everything. Hey, I'll tell you what, since I'm on there, it is. See if you can get you guys know who this is.
Looks like Jim Moss.
Yeah.
Hey, that is Jim Moss.
Yeah.
And you know, a guy gave me some there, and there's another one I got, and somebody might be able to know who this is.
My dad.
He's from Grassburg and used to be a preacher. And I think Gordon ought to really know him very well. That's his pocket.
Oh, is that Gordon's dad?
Yes.
Gordon's dad.
Okay.
I tell you what, a guy that I play golf with and everything, he's gave me those pictures, and Jim Moss was taught him into grade school, and he said Mr. Husk would come along there and come in and give some sort of a speech and stuff. And he said, maybe you'd like to have those. I said, yes, you would. And I'll probably send this one to Gordon. Gordon's not on there today.
No,
I'm getting an echo here. I don't know what's going on.
Got some serious.
Yeah, I'm getting the same thing.
Maybe somebody has both a computer and a cell phone on.
I have no idea.
yeah, Gordon's dad used to come to some of the grade schools and deliver a very, very nice message, but they probably wouldn't allow that today.
Dave Wilkins wrote a
I
really
know,
good article about him.
I was looking over some of the old things I've got and everything. And, you know, the Sloan cabin that was built there and everything, that the guy that was James E. Sloan, and he was walking from Barron County, Kentucky to English, Indiana. He came across 3 Indians and he didn't know whether they was friendly or not, so he bypassed them and he came back, and then all he had was a rifle. He didn't know whether it's friendly or not. So he got in there, and after he got to English, that he found a place he liked, and he walked from there to Vincennes, where he could go ahead and for 80 acres, where he could build a cabin. Now think of that, walking from Barron County, Kentucky to Vincennes and then coming back. And come to find out, he built a couple of cabins. The second one was built in 1816, and that was torn down in 85 and moved to Bedford, Indiana, to go into some kind of a pioneer village. And I've never been able to find out where that pioneer village was.
Bob, was that the Arch Sloan house?
Pardon?
Was that Arch Sloan house? Was a cabin, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Arch Sloan's house, yeah. And it was built around the log cabin.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
stuff and things. But I just thought that'd be interesting and stuff for you to all know. And, you know, I was looking over an old class picture that I found. This was the 1938, the 6th and 7th grade. And I don't know whether you can make out any of those guys or not. But anyway, I was looking through there, and all except 2 guys in that class served in the military. One was killed in a wreck while he was in service, and the other was captured and had to do some time in the German prison. That was Bob Welch. And Elmo Gillen was the guy that was cleaning there, but even the teacher was in the Army. So the whole class, and that thing ended up in practically World War II.
Now, Floyd Tony was captured too, wasn't he? Floyd Tony was a POW.
That was Bob Welch was a POW. He and Vogelsong and another guy, Jackie Enlow, was all captured together in the Battle of the Bulge.
Okay.
And they were all in the thing, and Elmo Gillen was killed in a car accident in one of the islands over in the Pacific.
Yeah.
But everyone except maybe two people in that class was in service.
How about that? Now,
Yeah,
Floyd Tony,
there's Gordon come in there. Gordon, look at this one.
Right?
hello, Gordon.
That man was born in 1898.
Oh, boy.
Randy Gilmore gave me that. He used to come to his school down there below Eckerty. And he said, said he was really tall, said he was a big man. But that's a good picture of your father.
When
I'm
did he
getting a
pass
terrible
away?
echo. I can hardly understand what's going on here. I'm sorry.
When did he pass away, Gordon, your dad?
He passed away in 1971.
Okay. But now Floyd Tony was also a prisoner of war, Bob Roberts.
Yeah. That I knew Floyd and stuff.
Don Vogelsong was interviewed, and that interview, I think, is available somewhere. He told a lot about his POW experience.
Randy Gilmore would give me those. Randy Gilmore would give me those pictures, and he was in school down there, and he said, and Mr. Husk used to talk and said, boy, he was a great big man. I've never been able to. Bobby, how are you?
I was going to say we had a neighbor here in our condo that was a prisoner of war in Germany. They sent him out on, to help a farmer. And he said when the authorities came around, he only got bread and water, but if there was no authorities, the farmer fed him right at the family table like anybody else.
You know, there was a guy by the name of Ernie Searles. He was captured in North Africa and gone back to Germany and put in prison. And the Americans were giving him hell on the western part of Germany. And they marched across Germany, and here come the Russians giving them hell from the other end. They finally released him. And he came back and he had tuberculosis, and he finally died of it. But he was a prisoner for almost 4 years and stuff. And
My youngest brother, Dale, married a German girl whose father had been an officer under Rommel, and he became a prisoner and was in Trinidad, Colorado, in a prison.
you know, I was looking through some of the history of Crawford County and everything. You know, every bit of Crawford County drains into the Ohio River. That's Big Blue and a Little Blue, and then a Anderson River that comes through there, and for the western part of it. And there's a and for the northwestern part that the Patoka River drains in. But the whole works of Crawford, there's an Anderson River that comes in there, and also Oil Creek. But all of Crawford County drains into the Ohio River. That's for your information.
Yeah.
Now you give us something there, Victor.
Well, there were a lot of German prisoners of war that were kept at the Army ammunition plant. Can you hear me, Bob?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And my dad, for some reason or other, maybe he took a year off teaching, or maybe it was just in the summer, but He had a uniform and a gun. He went up there. He was a guard. And he guarded the German prisoners of war that were up at the plant. And I asked him one time, I said, did they cause any trouble at all? He said, oh, no, they were very friendly. They were happy to be over here. They were getting 3 meals a day. And if they were over in Germany, they'd be on the Russian front, he said. So they were happy to be over here. Some of them worked at the quartermaster depot in Jeffersonville. And the sad story there was that, according to the Clark County historian, they were getting a quarter a day, but they could walk off premises and go to a restaurant across 10th Street in Jeffersonville where blacks couldn't eat, but the German prisoners of war could eat there.
That was a different time.
That was a different time, yeah. Now, Bob Roberts, have you seen the 2 young black ladies that I sold land to? Have they been around when you've been able to see them?
No.
Okay. Right above hole number 1, that hillside used to be mine until about 4 or 5 weeks ago. I sold it, and I didn't know at the time. There were 2, probably in their late 20s, black ladies from Louisville that bought that land, and they're going to put a mini house on it. Very small house. And they said, oh, everybody's been real friendly in English. And they said, we got the JC store and the pharmacy and golf course. I said, well, you can walk right over if you want to eat at their restaurant. It's a short walk over to the golf course clubhouse. So they were all excited. Now, where they were going to live there permanently or just have that as a weekend getaway, I don't know. But Crawford County is going to have a couple of young black ladies.
Well, I'll probably see them and I'll ask if they knew Vic Megenity.
Yeah, okay. If they do good, give you credit. If they do bad, blame me.
Because you've been involved in a lot of things with people there in New Albany, with the
Yeah.
old school and everything that they had, that
Yeah.
you've really been active on it.
I have been, yeah. Been pretty active. I worked at the every Friday I work at the Fire Museum in Jeffersonville. And this past Friday, 2 days ago, we had 4 Germans that came in from Germany. They were in this area, so they wanted to be sure and see the museum. They were firefighters from Germany. One of them could speak decent English, so she, a lady firefighter, was interpreting for me. And about that same time, 4 more people came in. They were from Celestine, Indiana. Now, you know where Celestine is, don't you?
Oh, yes.
And they had German backgrounds from Celestine. Well, we know that. A lot of Germans live in Du Bois County.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they could actually, one of them could talk to these Germans. He knew enough German. He was talking back and forth to them. And they kind of gotten some information on where did your great grandfather come from and all that. So they were having a good time comparing notes on ancestry and so forth.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes if you in southern Indiana and you want some fresh meat, go down Celestine. They butcher their own stuff there and
Yeah.
stuff, and they sell it. You can go in there and tell them what you want cut and what size and everything else.
Yeah.
And it's really excellent.
I asked him, I said, well, you know where Snellville is, don't you? Oh, we know where Snellville is, sure. And I said, well, we used to go down there, a lot of us, to Thursday night dance down there, outdoors. Now, Bob, you probably didn't make that, but I know Jim Moss and a bunch of us would go down on a Thursday night, and we went in the tavern there. And I remember the German guy brought a round of beer around, and Jim jumped up for some reason. I don't know why, but he hit the German's arm, and beer flew every place. And the German guy stood there and looked. He said, That's never happened to me before.
Oh, they had a heck of a dance. They used to play, music a two-step for, and right behind it was a Catholic church.
That's right.
As a
Yeah.
wagon wheel was the name of it. And
Okay.
they had an outside deal there with tavern, and you could order beer and fried chicken and everything. And
Yeah.
as long as you said beer, they didn't ask your age.
No,
They just
no.
served you beer.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I wonder, Ireland is still a favorite place down that way, isn't it, for chicken? Ireland?
Oh, Ireland, yeah, I've always figured that that's the top place for chicken there in Ireland and
Yeah.
stuff. The chicken place was no one else.
Yeah. And the German restaurant in Jasper, is that Schnitzelbach?
Schnitzelbank.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and you go in there and get Wiener Schnitzel or Sauerbraten, and
Yeah.
they have a salad bar, and if you want purple cabbage, you can get it.
Yeah.
Everything there is delicious. If you're ever through Jasper, stop in and try it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Vic, when my wife was in high school, she and her mother supplied the chicken that they fried in Snellville.
Really?
They always had that good fried chicken.
Okay.
It was excellent.
Yeah. Gordon, when was the last honor flight you were on?
The last one I was on, I think I mentioned on an earlier, maybe the one you missed, Vic. I was guardian on that flight for a Vietnam veteran. And it's a long story. I'll tell you sometime. I've already told it to the rest of the group, but it was a very touching experience at the Vietnam Wall.
I bet.
The way we've had this heat wave coming through there in the last 2 or 3 days has really been nice. I know this morning I checked my thermometer and it was 57.
Oh,
Wow.
boy.
And it's really been nice. Our temperature here for the last couple of months, I imagine we broke a record for 90-degree weather. But it has been actually hot and dry.
Yeah. Bob Mason, what's been going on down in Crawford?
Well, since I don't get back there very often, I don't know. I haven't been back now for 4 years.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, you're in Virginia?
Yeah, I'm in Reston. I'm only about 15, 20 miles from Mike.
Okay.
It was very quiet here, but I was kind of hoping that we get some noise. The Blue Angels are doing a air show today,
That's great.
Oh,
and if they start, it's a little early, so they probably won't be flying while we're talking. But they were flying yesterday, and it's quite something to have. They come right over the house here. You have 5 or 6 in formation where they're wingtip to wingtip and 600 feet up, and oh my, the dogs go running.
I saw a video of when they were arriving there.
Yeah, they're a team that's interesting to watch.
It's a great show.
I looked up some years ago about how much. I wondered how much does the Marine base have to pay to get them here, and the answer is nothing. They do it free, except the host base has to furnish quarters and fuel.
oh boy, fuel.
And the fuel, that was maybe 10 years ago that I looked this up. The fuel was $80,000.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Now, looking at back years and years ago, then English, the businesses we had here, that the English Milling Company, that they had flour and feed. Roberts Granite Company had monuments. And the Midwest Car Company had railroad refrigerator cars, binder slats, and car tabletops. And H.J. Tucker had lumber. J.T. Willems had wagons and rough lumber. And L.H. Sills had canned tomatoes. And I was looking at that. What in the world's binder slats?
Binder slats?
Yeah, that was what they made for down at the Midwest Car Company, where they made refrigerator cars and had
They had
binder
the,
slats and card tabletops.
they had the wheat binders prior to combines being made, but maybe it was slats for that. I don't know. That's the only binder I can think of. It would bind the wheat for the shocks, and then they would take it to the separator.
Oh, okay. And
Bob, I
just-
want to ask you a question. When, now I know you don't remember, but when were the streets in downtown English dirt? When were they not paved or rocked at all?
I have no idea. That I know when in 1936, when they built that new bridge, they raised the roads and stuff through there because you had to go up 2 or 3 steps. I know in the old monument shop, you had to go up 4 or 5 steps to get up where Dad had the monuments. And all the way through there, all the deals, you had to go up steps to get into business. And when they come back through there, that some of them still had maybe a step or 2, but it wasn't like 4 or 5 steps. That
I remember looking through Granddad Flanigan's old papers. He had a kind of a little diary, a little tiny black covered book that he kept notes in, and he had gone to some kind of a political meeting up in Indianapolis with the governor, and the comment there was that within his new term, they were going to try to pave every street that went through a county seat.
Oh,
Every county seat was going to be connected by a paved road. So I thought that was pretty modern.
well, yeah, you know, that where 37 runs out of English North and where we used to live, that we had a wall in front of the house down next to the road. And it was about 3.5, 4 foot high. And I was looking by there as I passed today, and it's about 1.5 feet. And I know down next to us that Lily and Oscar Longus used to live, and my brother had an old bicycle, had those real narrow wheels, and I couldn't get it on any other way, but I'd go down to Oscar's and stand up on that wall through there and everything and get on it and take off. And today that's probably maybe 6 or 8 inches. The road and everything is raised over the years where they repaved it and everything.
Yeah.
yeah.
You remember how you used to maybe mount the first bicycles you had?
Yeah, Bob, was old downtown English flooded about 6 or 8, about a week ago?
No, it hadn't really been flooded since back in the 90s.
Okay.
Now these rains have been going either north or south of us. That a lot of times we get a rain and in 25 minutes we get 3 inches, but it's been so dry that the creeks are, we could get an inch or 2 of rain and it doesn't even muddy the creeks.
Okay, little history question. There's 92 county seats in Indiana. Which county seat has the least population according to the 2010 census?
I would
I think
guess Crawford County probably.
Yeah, it's Crawford County.
It
English,
used to be the poorest county and was Brown County, but now I think Crawford is.
I think so, yeah.
And As Della May, I haven't heard from her yet. I guess, is she still with us?
Gordon?
Gordon, have you heard from Della May?
She is going to move down to Louisville to an independent living home down there at the end of this month. And so I think she's been busy. I thought she might be on this call, but she's been busy trying to get ready for that move.
Doggone, she's been in Salem so long
Right.
and stuff. I hate to see
It's a nice place where she's going. I've seen pictures of it, so it should be nice for her. Convenient, I'm sure.
I mean, is she just there by herself anymore? I don't know, she lost her daughter. How many children did she have?
She still has one son and one daughter.
One son and one daughter. Do they
She lost
now
two
live
daughters.
in,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
one of the daughters passed away.
Right. Well, two of them have actually.
Well, I'm so sorry about that. You know, I worry about her and stuff and things. But when everybody leaves in your generation and your family and everything, that there's no more Robertses in English. And there used to be quite a few of them and everything, but probably be like Grantsburg. I don't imagine there's any more Husk. Haven't been down there for years, have they?
No, not really. I think I've mentioned before when we've talked that we started with 14 in the family, 14 children, but 2 died long before I was born. So 12 lived to adulthood, and 11 of those attended English high school.
I know there was
How many are still left, Gordon?
There are 6 of us, and unfortunately, one younger than I, Frank, passed away 3 years ago.
stuff. Then you look around, no more Flanagans in English.
No more Flanigan.
They were one of the families that were big and stuff. That
And the Megenitys had been in Crawford County. Elijah Frank came out Brownstown Road and homesteaded 1855. And Mark was the last Megenity in Crawford County. And of course, he passed away last year. And that ended the Megenitys in Crawford County.
yeah,
Sarah Beth
yeah,
carried.
all the old families. I think that's what happened to our town. It just keeps kind of fading away a little bit. This and that and the other. They said that a couple of years ago we're supposed to have an English reunion. It was advertised and everything. And the guys that was supposed to come in went broke and they didn't come. And then the COVID comes along and they don't have anything on it and everything. Somebody said, "What? They're going to have another English reunion?" And I said, "I don't know." That so many things that they had, and one thing and another, parade and things and celebrated anymore, that there just isn't any of it. It's
Right.
slowly fading away. That
Yeah.
there's no families left or anything. That was had the origins started in Crawford County and they stayed there. They had businesses and everything else, and it keeps going down.
Well, even
Sit here
Grantsburg
and look
at one time, Grantsburg had 2 stores that were quite lively, and Laura Ferguson, who died in a house fire, and 2 other people and I carried her out of there. But she told me that she and her husband owned that store right in the center of town at one time. And they would have farmers who had butchered hogs come bring them in, and they would cut them up and sell them from that store. And they did a great business doing that. We moved to Grantsburg in 1942, and it was not a bad little town at that time. It's really, really sad now to go down there, which I don't do. I can't drive through there anymore.
Well, the paved roads did away with the small towns. They
True.
made it easy to get from one place to another, easy to get from Crawford County to Louisville. And the stores that managed to keep things going in the small towns just all went broke and dissolved away.
And then Walmart came in everywhere and ruined smaller
Ruined
towns
all-
completely.
Right.
All the mom and pop stores were gone.
Yeah.
Someone recently said, isn't it a shame what happened to English, that they had to tear the town down and move it up on the hill? And I said, well, if you think about it though, have you been in downtown Marengo? Well, Bob, I know you have.